Hello, I'm Suzanne Yates, and today I'm going to show you the stepping vessel exercises. And I've decided to do this outside because the stepping vessel is very much about how we stand on the earth and how we step and how much we're able to be present in each moment. So while I'm explaining it a bit, maybe just stand, but the idea of the stepping is it's very much about movement. So we're not going to be standing still. I want you to feel the connection of moving from your heel, sometimes it's known as the heel vessel, and then feel how that movement comes into your pelvis. And we can alternate that while I just explain some of the points. So feeling this connection with the earth, with the movement of the heel, also just letting that flow into the rest of your body, flowing up into your hips and your pelvis, and just let your shoulders be relaxed and let your arms move as well. So stepping vessel, the capacity to be present, to be in the moment, and to make moment-to-moment adjustments. So play around, be fluid, very much links in with the bones. Maybe I'll even move a tiny bit. You can step forward, so you can do this in a bigger way, just focusing on stepping forwards and stepping backwards and feeling the difference with the movements. So heel vessel or stepping is very linked with the heel, and in fact maybe we'll slow that. If we slow the stepping movement down, so you're balancing on one leg, you can feel the heel in the air. Maybe you could even do a few movements with your heel to feel. Those are the starting points. There's several points around the heel, both on the inside and the outside, and that connection with space. But after a while, you probably find that this leg that's supporting you is getting tired because it's having to make moment-to-moment adjustments. So feel those moment-to-moment adjustments. Just place that other foot down and feel the difference as you shift a connection through into the center and then the other side. The heel coming up, the movement in space, and then the moment-to-moment adjustments that are happening in the muscles of this leg, in the meridians or channels, and therefore also into the pelvis. So that's the basis of all our movements that we're going to be doing today. Stepping, it really is that simple, but now I want you to feel the connection to the pelvis as you step. So placing your hands on the bones of your pelvis and feel that action with the pelvis as you rock through in the movement. Then coming back to the center, that's quite important, that's bringing it back to the midline. And then coming to the other side, again feeling the connection with the pelvis and the rocking movement through into the heel of the foot that's coming onto the ground. And of course when we're stepping, when we're walking, there's not just a movement of the pelvis, there's a movement into the shoulders. And there are some quite important points here. So while I'm doing this, you might want to be actually walking around. I'm staying on one spot because it's easier to show the exercise, but you could actually, I'll just demonstrate this briefly, you could actually be walking around, playing with different speeds of walking, walking faster, walking slower, maybe even doing some walking with your eyes closed and see how that feels. Walking backwards as well. So all those different movements you can be playing around with, while I'm also getting you to focus on the shoulders. So with the shoulders, it's very much, again, the bones, the heel, the leg, the pelvis, the bones of the shoulder. So you might want to actually place your fingertips on your shoulders, really feel those big bones, the clavicle, the acromion process. And there's some key points here with the bones and the joints. So feel this movement. Just connect with the bones here for a moment, but then go more into the stepping movement with the arms. So with the arms, it's just letting them move from the joints as you step forward. And again, I'm just going to do a few steps here because I don't want to move too much, but feeling that connection with the arms is quite an important part of this. I'm doing it a little bit stiffly just to emphasize it, but try and feel a fluidity as you're walking and stepping with this movement, forwards and backwards. So the next part to focus on are the eyes. So the eyes, actually, sorry, before we get to the eyes, I mean, the eyes are an important part, but the bones here, but we've also got the throat. So I'm just holding the throat to show you. You can still keep moving with your arms. I want you to be really aware of your throat and the connection with the clavicle. There's a little hollow here, those of you who know stomach 12. And that, if you feel that as we focus more on the upper body, you're losing your connection to the earth, you might want to actually feel this little dip in the middle of the collarbone, the clavicle, and just have a gentle pressure coming down. That's a very good way. It's the stomach, it's the earth, it's an anchoring down to the earth. So at any point, if you feel things are going a little bit too much up, then just bring everything down through connecting with this point. You can also allow yourself to focus on your throat and maybe even make a sounds as you're open the throat as you're stepping forwards and backwards. But we come to the last point of this vessel. So it starts at the heels, stepping, and it finishes at the eyes, both the yin and the yang stepping vessels. So there's one that's coming up the inside of the leg and one that's coming up the outside of the leg. One that's coming up the front of the body, one that's coming more through the side of the body. Perhaps you can try to feel those, but they're very broad energies. You don't have to be too specific. Just feel the inside and the outside of the leg, the front and the sides of the body, the shoulders, the areas that I've just described. And finally we come to the eyes. This is a nice easy point to find. It's both for the yin and the yang, the front and the back, and it's the inside corner of the eye. And you may, as you're walking, want to just place your hand there for a moment, really stimulate the inside corner of the eye as you carry on with your stepping action. And then, this is the final thing, as you walk now, I examined this briefly at the beginning, just close your eyes and see how that feels to walk. You'll probably have to go a bit slower, but as you walk around either forwards or backwards with your eyes closed, really take your time to feel first the connection with the earth. How do you place first your heel and then the sole of the foot? And then how do you lift the leg? How do you transfer the weight to then come into the other foot and then place the weight down? And keep feeling that movement, starting with the feet, but moving all the way up into the pelvis, the shoulders, the throat, and the eyes. You can explore that for a while. You can pause this video if you want. So next, what I'm going to do for you is the balancing one we did at the beginning, but you're going to do it with your eyes closed. So start with that stepping movement, lifting up, your eyes open, and then close your eyes and feel how you have to, that supporting leg has to work even more. Your arms can help you. Be aware of what's going on in your shoulders. Some days you'll find this easier than others. Come back to the center and then do that movement to the other side. Eyes closed, eyes open. Just feel the difference and what's happening in your body. And then just repeat that a few times if you want, and pause, close your eyes, and just feel how your whole body's been stimulated through these simple movements and through your awareness of the different parts of your body. And then before we finish, I just want you to just shake through all these areas we've been working, just shaking through your foot, a bit through your hips, a bit through your shoulders, blinking your eyes quite quickly, then placing down, coming to center, then shaking through the other side. Really feel that movement from the heel, up the inside and outside of the leg, into the pelvis, into the shoulders, into the throat and the mouth and the eyes. And then pause again, closing your eyes. And then simply, when you're ready, walk and see how that might have changed your approach to walking. But do remember to come back to center. Thank you.